Morning everyone, it's Pauline Tomlin, Insightful Angel here. So that means it must be Sunday, and yes, of course, here I am to share another one of my, hopefully, words of wisdom, but I do know it's words of experience that have come from many years on this planet. This week, my 13, 14, 15-year-olds, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, 19, 20 and 21-year-olds and beyond who live in Niger, the wider African continent and hopefully the world. This week I would like to speak to you about new beginnings. The reason this theme came up was because I sorrowfully said goodbye to my class of 2018 as they embark on study leave and their exams for this summer, and then their futures and whatever that may bring. It was a tearful time, but actually I was really happy for them as well, because if there's one thing that I've learned in life is that it's never too late to start again. New beginnings are something to be thankful and grateful for. Two of my favourite quotes ever are by Mary Pickford and by George Eliot, and the reason I'm reaching is because I want to read them accurately rather than just try and paraphrase them. And George Eliot, this is my absolute favourite one, said, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." And that one really, really invigorates me and keeps me going when I feel like perhaps I've fallen down somewhere, or I failed, or I'm not where I want to be in life. That's just a reminder to all of you that it is never, ever too late to be what you might have always been. So today, and for the rest of your lives, and wherever life takes you, whenever you feel like maybe you're not quite being who you want to be, or life isn't going the way you want it to go, it is actually true that in a moment and in an instant you can change your mind, you can change your decisions, you can change the actions that you take, and you can go in another direction and always feel that you can realize that potential that you know you always had when you were in your teens and when life seemed rosy. Okay, so if you take nothing else with you into this life, take that one. The quote that Mary Pickford said was that you may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. And that is absolutely so true. It is not that you are going to trip. You're going to trip. You're going to make what you call mistakes. You're going to have moments when you feel like, oh, I failed, I didn't quite get this right. But all that, as I've said in previous videos, is the learning that you need. It sharpens you up. However, it's when you let that falling down, even you let it put you into a state where you feel like you never want to pick yourself up back from it, and that becomes your story. That becomes where you stay. That's when it's an issue. So for today, if you remember two things, as Mary Pickford said, it is not the failure that is the issue. It's not the falling down, it's the staying down. And the other thing I really want you to take into your hearts today is, and it's been true for my life, because I've made many changes at times when people thought it was impossible for me to do so, try and remember that wherever you are, and especially those of you who I had to say goodbye to this week, who are moving on to pastures new schools, new countries, new everything for many of you, whoever you were, if you were making mistakes, if you chose to behave in a way that was perhaps not the best example of who you can be, just remember, it is never too late to always be what you thought you could always be. Take that decision, change, make it today. As they say, as Lao Tzu said, a journey starts with a single step. So if you want to change, make that change today, take that step.